Hey out there, here's another magic tutorial for you. As always, right down there is a link to my disclaimer. If you've never seen it before, watch that once before you watch my tutorials. It's not very long. Now, something you may not know about me is I have an excellent sense of touch. I can identify almost anything just by feeling it. So, it'll give the deck a nice little shuffle there, give a little mix like so. And what I'm going to try and do is show you how good my sense of touch is. So first, let's just pull any card out of here. It doesn't matter what it is. The spectator would do this part. We'll turn it face up and we'll put it on top of the deck here. Now just grab any other card. We're not going to look at it. We're not going to let anybody see it or anything. We're just going to put it face to face with the other card here. And get the whole thing once for me, so that's good and lost in the middle. So I don't know where it is, and I'm going to try and identify, put this under the table behind my back, whatever's appropriate. Try and identify your card just by touch. Alright, so I need to find that face-up card. Let's see, right through, okay, I think that's it. That feels like the face-up card. Now if I feel the face of the card that's facing it, alright, it's a face card. First of all, that's fairly obvious. There's a lot of ink on the face of it, a lot of different colors. Let's see, I think it's a black face card though. Black face card. Let's see, it feels no points on it though, so it's a club. It's a face card club, and I think feels like a K. I think the King of Clubs. I think the King of Clubs is the card facing your Nine of Clubs. And I was right, the King of Clubs. Now the way this works is, first thing, you need to know what the top card of the deck is. It doesn't matter what it is, it could be any card, but you need to know what it is. In this case it's the Three of Hearts, but I'll change it here and I'll show you how I determined it in that performance. Anything you want to use, any way you can determine what the top card is fine. You just need to know what it is before you start this trick. The way I did it for this one is, as I was shuffling, my natural shuffle looks just like that. That's how I shuffle all the time anyway. But in the process of doing this, when I get to here, I can see what this card is. So in this case, it's the Eight of Hearts. And when I go to shuffle, I make sure that left side falls first. So the Eight of Hearts is now on the bottom. And then when I get to this part where I say, or mix the deck, and I do this sort of sloppy overhand shuffle looking thing. When I get down close to the end, I grab the last 2 or 3 cards one at a time. So whatever the bottom card was is now on the top. And if you drop one like this, just stick it back in the middle and move on. So now I know the Eight of Hearts is on the top. Again, anything you want to do is fine, just as long as you know what that top card is. Then when you have them select a card, it doesn't matter what they choose, they say we'll put that face up on top of the deck. Any other card they want goes face to face with it. And you tell them you're going to try and identify that facing card by touch alone, and have them cut the thing into the middle of the deck. And then you say you're going to determine by feel. And you put the cards behind your back or just under the edge of the table, whatever you feel is most appropriate for the situation you're in, whatever works best for you, just as long as they're out of sight. And when you're giving your whole little speech, like you heard me give about I'm feeling for this and that and whatever you want to make up, this is all you're actually doing out of sight, is you're going through the cards one at a time and just flipping the other hand so that you are reversing the order of the entire deck, one card at a time. Because you don't know where their card is. But when you get to this point, you'll see what happens is the top card of the deck that you know the identity of gets slid over and becomes a card that's facing their card, their face-up card. So you're not actually identifying their second selection at all. That's why you don't let them, that's why no one looks at it. You're actually identifying the top card, but you have to stall long enough to get through the deck so that you can place it in the right location. But since the spectator gets to choose 2 cards, and since they get to cut the deck themselves, so it's lost in the middle, then it seems to them that, you know, there's really no way you could do it, because you didn't know what card they were going to pick here. You don't know where it is in the deck by the time you get your hands on the cards. So it seems like it'd be very hard for you to cheat. If you want to save some time, or you have trouble, bantering long enough to get through the entire deck when you're flipping through, you could do something like this. Maybe break it into 3 packets, have them pick which one you want to use, and then you do the same little deal, just give it a shuffle for the small little packet and kind of a little mix, and see. But just as I did before, I know the top card is the 5 of clubs. Same way I showed you in the other one, I just did it with a smaller packet, and then this way you have fewer cards you have to flip through as you're reversing the order of the deck. So there's a little way you can speed the trick up if you like. One other thing is, when you're reversing the deck, it's okay if you make a little sound, because you're talking about how you're flipping through the cards anyway for feeling. Plus, since you are talking, it's going to help cover the sound, a little bit of sound. You just want to make sure you're not doing something like this, where you're flipping the cards very loudly, because it's gonna kind of let people know that something's up. So, but that's all there is to the trick. It's not very difficult. Go ahead and have some fun with that.